Hi, welcome back. Have you heard of intuitive eating? Maybe you know a little bit about it, but you're not sure how it would fit into your way of eating and lifestyle. Or maybe you've tried it out, but you're confused by some of the finer points. The term intuitive eating was coined in 1995 with roots going back to the 70s and 80s. But intuitive eating has been getting more attention recently, and as a result, there's a lot of myths and misunderstandings about it. So today I'll share what intuitive eating is, explain how we can all benefit from it, and debunk 3 common myths. My name is Katie, and I'm a behavioral food therapist in San Francisco. Welcome to Whole Nourishment, where I discuss topics commonly addressed in client sessions about our relationship to food, emotional resilience, and whole food nutrition. Intuitive eating informs my health philosophy and is one of the primary approaches I use to help my clients cultivate a healthy relationship to food, body, and mind. So intuitive eating is not a wellness trend or a fad diet or a lifestyle hack. It's a practice in listening to our own body's signals when making decisions about food, rather than allowing external cues like a diet or expert guide eating habits. And most importantly, it's a self-care eating framework that takes a true mind-body approach to nourishment. So its purpose is to help us find the most appropriate ways to nourish our physical and emotional body. Intuitive eating is a non-diet approach to eating that's not about weight, but rather cultivating a mindful relationship to food and body. It helps those who've lost trust and connection with their body, or who've lost a sense of joy and satisfaction engaging with food, and is tremendously helpful for addressing a perfectionist, all-or-nothing mindset towards food, as well as binge eating, emotional eating, yo-yo dieting, and other dysregulated behaviors around food. Now that I've laid a foundation, let's talk about it in more concrete terms. So intuitive eating is made up of a set of 10 principles that strengthen body awareness. And learning and practicing these principles are what bring concrete value to becoming attuned to our needs in daily life and making intentional food and self-care choices in response. And my clients and I work through these principles over time, so today I just want to introduce you to them. So the principles are to reject the diet mentality, honor your hunger, make peace with food, challenge the food police, feel your fullness, discover the satisfaction factor, cope with your emotions without using food, respect your body, exercise and feel the difference, and honor your health. Research has validated that there are certain characteristics and benefits of intuitive eaters. So intuitive eaters eat for physical and not emotional reasons, and they can connect with how food feels in their body. So this means that they know what a satisfied feeling of fullness feels like and what satiation feels like. And this has become difficult though in diet culture, where we've learned to cultivate fake fullness by eating low-calorie, high-volume foods and ignoring hunger. But studies have shown that practicing intuitive eating leads to more body trust and appreciation. It improves heart health, allows for better blood sugar control, and it has a protective effect against eating disorders. But there are many myths and misunderstandings out there about intuitive eating, so today I want to talk about 3 of the most common myths. Myth number 1 is that intuitive eating will help you lose weight. So people will come into my office wanting to learn intuitive eating and also lose weight. But that's just it. Intuitive eating is a non-diet approach. It's not about weight. Its purpose is to honor your whole body in the best way possible. So that means getting your physical needs met and also satisfying emotional needs with non-food coping mechanisms. These are the priorities, not weight loss. This process is about connecting to what's going on inside your body. But when you're focused on losing weight, that's external and it interferes with listening to and trusting your body, because it places more trust in calorie counting, a food plan, or a number on the scale. And the irony is we continue to follow these one-size-fits-all food or wellness plans, yet our body's needs and circumstances change over time. We can't know what we'll need in the future, so following a regimented food plan and list of good and bad foods can't possibly work long term, because it teaches us to be attuned to the latest trends rather than how our own body's needs change over time. When we do normalize eating behavior, we can't know where our weight will land. We all have a natural set point, and the key is to have a greater tolerance for a range of normal set points. You know if you're at your natural set point if eating is effortless and enjoyable, if you don't fixate on weight or food habits, and if you eat naturally in response to signals of hunger, fullness, and appetite. So if you regularly engage in mindless eating, emotional eating, binging, then it's likely you could lose weight when this behavior subsides. But if you've been restricting and dieting, you may gain weight because your body's been suppressed. Ultimately, we can't control our body, but we can control what values we choose to guide our food choices and lifestyle. And this intuitive eating approach is a way of living, a philosophy on health that values liberation, true nourishment, joy, satisfaction, and a sense of self beyond weight. With this approach, we can trust that our body wants to be at an equilibrium, and it will get there if we support it in the right way. This myth that intuitive eating helps you lose weight touches on another important point, which is that weight does not equal health. Health at every size is a complementary approach to intuitive eating, and it points to research showing that weight is not a good indicator for health. And I talked about weight and health in my weight loss series, which I'll link to down below for you. But our society needs to do a better job embracing body diversity. So body diversity acknowledges the fact that there is a natural range of body shapes, sizes, and body fat percentages. And there's not one ideal body for health, yet we try to attain a particular body shape, which just perpetuates the binge restrict cycle. But intuitive eating and the health at every size approach is very powerful in interrupting this vicious cycle. Myth number 2 is that a successful intuitive eater eats only when hungry and stops when full. So first of all, intuitive eating isn't pass-fail. We can't do it right or wrong. It's not a test. It's a process of trial and error where we get to know ourselves and our body better, and we learn how to be attuned, responsive, and flexible in meeting our needs. For example, that might look like recognizing you're hungry and allowing yourself to eat 2 hours after a meal, even if you think you shouldn't be hungry yet or it's not the right time to eat. Or it might look like reflecting on a time when you overate to better understand what that point of uncomfortable fullness felt like. People take the idea of honoring fullness to mean they've failed as an intuitive eater if they eat past the point of fullness. But practicing intuitive eating is more about the intention behind our actions. So for example, are we being aware or mindless? Are we making choices out of a desire for self-care or self-control? Plus, for true attunement to our body, it's not enough to follow signals of hunger and fullness. We also need to trust our body works and shift focus to making choices from a place of self-respect rather than fear or shame. And this is the deeper work I do with my clients, because if we hate our body, we're not able to listen to it, respect it, or respond in a timely manner. Myth number 3 is the belief that giving ourselves unconditional permission to eat means we'll never stop eating. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Your body doesn't want to always be eating, nor does it want to subsist only on those donuts or chips or whatever else you deem as off limits. It naturally seeks a balance of nutritionally dense foods and play foods, but diet mentality has rewired that natural desire for balance. As I've talked about in previous videos on emotional eating, cravings, and weight loss, what we resist persists. So when we restrict calories or certain types of foods that we have a natural appetite for, we'll want them even more. They'll have power over us. And intuitive eating calls this the forbidden fruit effect. To overcome the binge restrict cycle or that out of control feeling around certain foods, we have to loosen our grip and trust that our body will do what it needs to do. So there will be an uncomfortable phase of continuing to overeat or binging, but moving through it, maintaining that trust and permission, and ideally having support of a trusted therapist or coach experienced in this non-diet intuitive eating approach will eventually get you to a better place. Remember, discomfort is a sign you're on the verge of a breakthrough, because it means you're becoming more aware of the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and you're willing to step outside of your comfort zone in order to get to a better place. So, I hope this crash course in intuitive eating was helpful for you. If you're new to the concepts of intuitive eating, health at every size, and this weight neutral approach to health, this was probably a lot to absorb. But let me know down in the comments, what did you find most interesting from this video? What was a big takeaway for you? I'd love to hear. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos. But thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you soon.